Hi, welcome to Landscapes for Better Living. I'm Jay Archer, and I'm here with Kathleen Savolt, and we're just inquiring about how you feel about your landscape.
Well, it makes me feel good. I feel like I'm doing something for our planet by not having a lawn and putting chemicals down, having a totally natural landscape as best we can. I live adjacent to Long Island, a tidal march to Long Island Sound. There's a storm drain that's right on the edge of my property, which means any chemicals I was putting on my lawn was washing away and going directly into the Sound. And that's why I ripped up the lawn in 2005 and went natural. And ever since then, I love being in my house and looking out the window. A couple of days ago, there was a flock of about 20 robins foraging in the litter right here in the front yard, and they were just all over, and they were feeding whatever they could find in the leaf litter.
And why your yard?
Because there's leaf litter here.
They can.
Because they can. No matter what time of year it is, you can always look out the window and see something really interesting in the yard. Between butterflies and birds and chipmunks and squirrels and possum and deer, although the deer aren't the best, but they're still here.
But it's nature.
But it's nature. And we share the planet with them. And, I was teaching in an environmental education center back in the day. I also was serving in public office, and I became very aware of the importance of Long Island Sound. And I live in a waterfront community, and I wanted to celebrate the waterfront, and I didn't want to do anything to damage it. We tore up the lawn, transplanted it in my neighbor's backyard because she had some water damage and lost her lawn.
She even recycled and repurposed the lawn.
I did. Not that I wanted to, but we could have composted it, but she needed it and she wanted it, so we gave it to her. And we put in trees that are providing food for the birds when they come out in berries in the spring. So you come here in the spring when the serviceberry trees are in berry, and they come in shifts. First you have the catbirds, then you have the sparrows, and you have the chipmunks. Everybody comes at a different time of day.
So it's not just for you, but it's really a wildlife habitat. You find your natural landscape, which is predominantly native plants, more interesting year-round.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Just to look at, let alone
now
to do.
it's maybe a little white, or brown underneath the white, because there's no lawn there. We have evergreen, some plants that are green, and so maybe it's not as green as other people, but come spring, it'll be alive. And as we know, there are things living here now because the robins were finding things to eat.
And what I really like is you got on this early. You really were committed, to a change in the way we think about the landscape from an ecological standpoint, and not so much human-based values, but you really did this something as a service not only to yourself but to the community and the ecology as well.
Well, it was the chemicals going into the Sound that really bothered me the most.
That's what motivated you.
Right, and the fact that I love birds, and if I could do anything to attract more birds to this area, or be able to make them more visible to me, because I knew there were birds here. We also put up a bat box over there on the tree. And we have to realize the bats were here anyway. I just gave them a place to hang out.
Well, you want the bats because they're desirable. They're
eat mosquitoes.
Right.
One bat can eat up to 1,000 mosquitoes a night.
Well, let's think of inventory just quickly. Some of the benefits here. First of all is the water management. You're cleaning this water instead of dirtying it up with lawn chemicals and everything else, because it's being filtered. You have a rain garden here.
We have 2 rain gardens. The water from the downspouts is being fed into the rain garden. The water from the sump pump in the basement goes into the rain garden, gets filtered before, if it spills out onto the street, when it overflows, it gets filtered somewhat, but most of the time it just goes right into the rain garden. We have beautiful irises and other plants on top of the rain garden that need wet roots. I see more people aware. I sit on the village's planning board, and more people are coming in, especially houses that are right on the Sound, and they're looking to put in more a natural landscape in parts. They don't give up their lawn entirely. but more native plants, and they are thinking about making sure that there's food for the birds and the butterflies.
They care.
I mean, this is a major flyway.
And what you've managed to do is you've joined to be a voice for nature and speak for the plants and the animals. And, you know, a little spirit of the wild goes far.
Well, I see us all as nature. I mean, you know, we're all part of this. We get one planet, and everybody has to share it. Everything that's here has to share it. And unfortunately, that's not how human beings looked at nature for centuries. They felt they had to control it, and they had to manage it, and they had to be in charge of it.
You know, the indigenous people, they didn't consider themselves native people. They considered themselves natural people, or the people of the land, basically. And what are we doing? We're revisiting how we feel about being on the earth in a particular place, and develop some respect and appreciation and enjoyment. We've got a tremendous diversity of life here, not just in the life that we see, which is wonderful, and talk about the bird life and the butterflies and so forth, but all of the life in the soil and this biodiversity of plants that you have. You have shrubs, you have perennials, you have ground cover, you have beautiful trees. I mean, this is a great example of better resource management, and it's more fun.
It's easy for people to find my house when they're looking for me, because I always tell them I'm the one without the lawn.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks so much.
All right.
This has been great. Great fun.
All right, great.
If you like what you've seen, check out our website, greenjadelandscaping.com.